I hope you're doing well at the time that you're watching this. I have been hankering to provide an offering today, but I haven't been able to find the frequency on which to do it. I haven't been able to figure out what exactly wants to come through. It's as if my own will is standing in front of whatever the will is of this work that I'm doing. And honestly, with this reading, I'm playing with the balance of those wills while intending on giving something that can be helpful or useful in some way. So, with all of that in mind, I am about to shuffle with no specific intention the other than the intention, yeah. No specific intention other than that of this reaching who it is meant to reach, and of it essentially avoiding who it isn't meant to reach. So that if by this point of watching this, you feel as though this is not for you, then please stop watching. Otherwise, let's shuffle and see what comes up. There's no specific layout either. We're really just tapping into what the cards would like to bring forth, whatever it is that you need to hear right now that will be helpful for your progression, your evolution, forward motion. I just want to be particular about those intentions, instructions. Wow. So we've got 4 reverse cards. And I just like to sit with it. Every time I get cards, a hectic amount of cards in reverse, which for me is more than like 2 cards. 4 is pretty hectic for me. Every time this happens, I like to just make sure that I haven't made the mistake of picking up the cards the wrong way. Or that perhaps the upright version of these cards, or the possibility of whether or not the upright versions of these cards have any major thing to do with what needs to come out now. Although, I don't know, I think the upright version will always count because of how it's right, if it's upright, it's the correct way. Anyway, I think I'm overthinking this. This is generally very intimidating for me. Many cards in reverse. 3 major arcana cards. Thankfully, luckily, I don't know what the word is here. You have the world at the bottom of the deck, so that whatever these cards may bring to light, whatever the message is, good or bad, you are reaching a culmination point of divine awakening, connection, freedom, ascension, a leveling up and upgrade, those kind of things. That kind of frequency is what's coming either way, is what may be possibly here. I'm getting the sense that if there is any like current chaos you're experiencing, I hope you can remember that it's happening in a vacuum of the divine. It's happening within the vacuum of the divine, in that you are always protected. Things may seem intensely chaotic, but yeah. I feel called to say that if you look carefully enough, you'll be able to see God at work. However, it feels controversial to say, considering the potential chaos you may be experiencing as you are watching this live. I feel called to tap into the Tower in reverse first. By the way, sorry, I don't think I mentioned it. You see, I was so overwhelmed by the reverse cards. So it was the Strength card and the 3 of Rods in reverse as the first group of cards, as in they fell out 2-2. And then the Tower and the Lovers in reverse, and like as part 2, so to speak. And I want to tap into the Tower in reverse first, because for me, looking at these cards, this holds the most energy. It feels like this should be at the center of everything. The Tower in reverse as well in general for me is just a very chaotic, shaky card. Even the image of it across all decks is just very intimidating. Very like, oh, Sorry, I've lost my footing regarding where this card is. And I also wanted to say, this is not to intimidate. There's nothing to be afraid of. It feels like whatever chaotic experience these cards are pointing towards, it's already happening, It's not like there's anything, it's not like there's any storm oncoming. It feels mostly as though you're likely already in it. So this card in reverse speaks of failure of vision leading to undoing, a traumatic event that seems to offer no resolution or light, illusions destroyed, the mind overset by too many trials, falling apart, disaster that could have been averted. Okay, I think we're going to have to get into every single one of what these cards may point towards, because this does feel like very chaotic energy, and I can't locate what exactly could be the root energy of what's happening right now. This card speaks of denying emotions or sensuality. Right, I'm finding it. Inability to separate from parents or partner, immaturity, inability to make choices and decisions due to fear, may indicate a deep psychic, long-denied wound and vacillation. Okay, before I feed into what it is that I'm feeling into, I'd like to just finish these interpretations. It's interesting as well that I've chosen to do this backwards, considering that the Strength card and the Three of Rods are the groups, are the reverse cards that fell out first. This card speaks of a subconscious suppression of your unconscious drives and passions, leading to tension, fear, pessimism, binding all natural drives and desires in the iron grip of the ego, resulting in rigidity and brittleness. Alternatively, it can indicate to surrender to unchecked passions of the instincts. Okay, hopefully those words are, something is ringing, you're finding the frequency of what this may mean, of exactly what this may mean for you in your body. This card, the Three of Rods in reverse, speaks of inability to express dreams or a lack of vision, inappropriately channeled or frustrated creativity which can lead to addiction or even desperation, the possibility of reconnection and recovery. All right, this is annoying to me because, I've been reading cards throughout the day today, and it has, every single pull that I've done has tugged at a very specific point of sensitivity in me, of which has been triggered during this eclipse tunnel period, and this feels to be the general vibe, is what I'm going to bring forth in this reading, where I'm trying to find the words to put this plainly and to make an umbrella reference of it, because the fact that it's kept coming up in readings where I haven't at all intended on focusing on myself tells me first and foremost, obviously, that I need to focus on myself. But that against the fact that I really wanted to do this reading, I feel as though there's a resonance factor here that I need to bring forth. I've been bringing up in many readings that there is an oncoming, huge, incredible, amazing achievement, upgrade, ascension, something really, really joyful is taking shape in your life very slowly, maybe so slowly that you're struggling to recognize that it's actually there. The Page of Cups and the Moon beneath, and then followed with the Star, and then the Seven of Cups, which is an extension of an energy I read on maybe a reading ago. I'll link it in the description. And mind you, I've shuffled this deck 3 times. So the fact that this is showing up again in this particular, the Star, Seven of Cups order, in the Page of Cups as well. And this is a card I've been saying I've been receiving a lot as well, to say there's, again, it's just, there's an energy that has not left us, that speaks of something being revealed, something needing to be revealed that will take patience. It'll take a total surrender from you. It'll have to take a relinquishing of your ego and you needing to put yourself in the very humble state of constantly remembering you don't know everything. You don't have all the information. You cannot be as in control as your ego would be satisfied. Something, some huge achievement, awakening, divinity, exposure to divinity is oncoming in your life that is really just waiting for you to believe in it. But for some reason to do with a fear of loss of control, some level of a fear of intimacy, even if just with yourself, where there may be parts of yourself or ways of expression and connection that you've been suppressing purposefully because you've been afraid of feeling out of control. You've been afraid of feeling too vulnerable. Something about that frequency of you needing to do this, be fearless, be unafraid to get your heart broken again, be unafraid of pain and fear and the shadow and the darkness, be unafraid of this, the dark figure in the back of this image, you know? Something about that invitation to evolve in that way has been held back by you. There's a blockage that's been persisting through this tunnel that you have in some way been blaming on someone else, but it's actually been you and your fear of what I've just mentioned and tried to list. Your heart has been for a while, it feels, has been in a very calculative, logical, square, sharp place when it should have been the entire time in a place of freedom, knowing you are safe. Yeah, I'm getting the keyword being freedom though. There's been a lack of freedom or suppression, probably likely to do with the Saturn in tropical Pisces retrograde that we're going through right now. The dreams have been, you're possibly in a state of being tired of hearing, oh, the dreams are about to come, they're oncoming, your blessings are coming, blah, blah, blah. I'm very tired of hearing that. But I understand how on a personal level, yeah, I understand what I'm personally experiencing. I'll leave it there. It feels really intense, and it shouldn't be so intense, you know? Feels like the lesson of detachment could come in useful for you. And accepting your human needs for intimacy, being seen, being touched, being loved. Feels like you may be going through a kind of love drought, where just your daily experiences are not intimate enough for your needs, you know? That whole thing of how you're supposed to get 8 hugs a day, you may barely even be getting like half a hug a day. Or a loving text. I'm also remembering a post someone made about how you are meant to, sorry, I'm going to be paraphrasing here. Oh, you need to be having someone telling you that they're proud of you. You need to be having that passionate expression, sincere display of you are doing a good job regularly. And it feels like that is something that has been lacking in your life in particular. It's an exhausting mission to have to constantly be your own support system. It feels like that's a foundation you've had to teach yourself psychologically, reprogramming your brain through affirmations and repeated, you are doing a good job for yourself, your own inner voice. I'm receiving a lot of inner child work fifth and sixth house work. Leo, obviously, as this card upright represents that. Some Leo wounds of an open heart being seen, which again could be something that's curbed through this oncoming grace that is bestowed upon you. You may go through, this is very random, you may go through a burst of like fame or exposure, being seen. Obviously, like, what is the trend? What do you call it? Trends on social media when you blow up. Yes, that, but also something to do with like actual in-person recognition and acknowledgement. Maybe walking into an event and receiving the sense of, because this is also an underrated thing. You walk into an event and it's full of people who admire you, you know, who think you're beautiful, smart, intelligent, whatever, all full of people who can give sincere admiration and compliments towards your avatar. This is a very underrated hit of dopamine that you may be in line to experience after all of this shadow work, though. It's shadow work period for a whole lot of us, 100%. It's just, it feels very, like a vine growing on a tree or a wall. Very like, you know, intimate, tied together, growing underneath each other. You know what I mean? Very like, very, if you mess around, you could cut a major artery kind of thing. Very delicate, very vulnerable, very tender. I'm receiving now randomly as well the delay of a breakup. Like, it may be possible that part of this is this is a specific channeling. Part of why you're going through this is because you have been contemplating initiating a separation with someone who you told yourself you wouldn't separate from. Like you the way that you locked in with this person, you were so certain that a need for separation would not happen, you know? You're facing a point of needing to tear down, maybe even not from a person, but tear down the structure of something, maybe even a habit, a workplace, your home. You're tearing down the structure of something you thought had a very strong foundation, but doesn't. May even be your identity, your personal self, something about you just isn't the same, or perhaps isn't as innocent and dainty as you thought it was. That's something I'm going through as well, realizing how terrible I can be and how dark my shadows are, what a bitch I can be when I'm on a bad day. And even on a good day, honestly. You know what I mean? Just dropping the facades, like this card said, illusions destroyed, truly. And it's an underrated thing, another underrated thing. When you were walking apart, something was solid, it was very locked in, you know, like I'd said, there was no option outside of this. Yeah, it's a huge shock to your system, whatever it is that you're processing. Feels largely internal, so a little bit isolating and lonely, although the Hermit has yet to show its face. It feels more just like, not too isolating, but you understand why it is that this is a very personal experience and process you're going through. It also feels as though you know the truth. You've already made the decision. You know what the next move needs to be. Yeah. It's just very shocking. So actually, if you can just give yourself, like I hope I mentioned earlier, if you can just give yourself time to process this. You can't rush this. Yeah, you can't rush it. Be really, really patient with yourself in terms of the kind of emotions that this brings up. Needing to release this, whatever it is that you're releasing, needing to change and to fix, to get to this, needing to get to this point it's a lot of energy, as you can see, a whole galaxy's worth of energy that takes a lot to solidify. So yeah, whatever phase of life you are in, honestly, if you can just wait and trust that you don't have to do anything more. This feels like a common message as well that shows up in a lot of my readings. You really don't have to be doing anything more than what is within your capacity. And you don't have to be so strict and hard about what is in your capacity. The definition of your capacity has nothing to do with the words laziness, procrastination. What else? What else are the words that they tell you to try to get you to be hyper productive? Lack of focus. I don't know. While you sleep, we grind. All that shit. None of that counts for what it is that you're processing right now. It never did. But especially right now, this is very intense energy that it feels like that I feel if you try to rush will create further blockages, further chaos, further difficulties in trying to start over. Further possible confusion with the Seven of Cups showing up. Further potential confusion. Just don't force anything right now. You are in a very delicate place. With that in mind, it feels like if you do try to force anything right now, you will be forced to slow down by the universe. Just remain humble. Remain humble. It feels like you can't even actually do anything right now. Like you can't see. There's no clear way of feeling or moving forward. Feels a little overwhelming, but it's fine because as I've been trying to keep, I wish I could pin this to the screen. This is what's coming either way. This is the work. This is at the end of your journey. It's given. It's a given. So there'll be nothing wrong with just sitting and watching and breathing, meditating, crying, right? Yeah, I'm getting really heavy relationship energy here. Very big. Yeah, very big romance, but there's just yeah, the divine unions that are present are under pressure. Friendships and romantic connections, everything, all the connections, the Libra energy, 7th house of it, even 12th house, a lot of pressure is being put on those kinds, on those worlds in that realm. Yeah. It makes me nervous because I have Chiron in Libra, in tropical Libra, and relationships and intimacy. It's a really, really soft spot for me. And the situation that I'm processing right now requires me to put my heart on the line in a way that I in a way that I didn't realize I'm terrified to do. And I know and I can see that if I don't make the brave decision, and if I don't do it with confidence and back my own self up, if I don't do that, I may miss the opportunity. I may miss out on a very beautiful opportunity, which may or may not be the same for you. It feels like if we don't do everything in our power to at least stay present and stay connected to a sense of love for the self, that will then be able to project, and through which we'll be able to experience a love for the other and of the world, of our reality. If we don't really stay focused on holding true to that, we may miss out right now, as in within the next 2-3 weeks max, we may miss out on a very beautiful opportunity to experience life on a level of divine conscious connection that we've been praying for our whole lives. I can't speak on how to maintain, I can't speak on how to walk this journey, unfortunately, because I'm so deep within it. And because of that, to some degree, it's actually pretty hard for me to accurately interpret these cards, because I feel disillusioned myself. I feel like I've been in this energy for like 2 weeks now. I've been struggling very much to get out of this and to lock out of my logical mind and keep connected to my, divine consciousness, higher wisdom, etc., etc. It's been very difficult for me to maintain balance and grounding. And every time I try to even dream, just hope for like just a few seconds, there's this Saturnian coded, and I'm a tropical Pisces rising, so Saturn is on me. I have this Saturnian coded internal dialogue saying, don't think that you can just be blindly, delusionally hopeful about something. Look at the facts, look at the reality. And most of the time, the reality I'm looking at isn't even the reality. It's just me being pessimistic. So I don't know. The battles are being fought right now. I'll tell you, I'm with you. We are all on this right now. I was going to make this a specific channeling, but it feels very collective. However, I like when I title these things as specific channelings because it's, I don't know. I'd like to think it scares people off, or at least gets them to sit straight about tuning into my content with awareness and understanding. And if it doesn't resonate, don't watch, So anyway, yeah, we have to believe in our dreams. We have to. We can't let go. Well, oh gosh, we can't let go. And then I say, no, we need to surrender. I mean, we can't let go of hope, okay? We can't let go of God. We can't let go of love. All the work that we've been doing. There must be so much pressure on your sense of hope right now. It's Saturn. Just blame Saturn. And push through. Don't lose sight of what it is that you want. It's definitely coming. It's so true. It's so true that your life is in your hands. You can do whatever the fuck you want. You can wish for whatever you want, and what you want will come. As you wish for it, it will come. It's yours already. All of these things, they've been true. It's just, yeah, we're being squeezed through a bottle right now of getting to the point of living our dreams. But they're here. They really are. Please believe me. And keep going. We are so close. We're so close.